Morning guys, welcome back to my first video of the channel. Today we're just doing something pretty simple for me. We're fishing down at Clifton Springs for some squid. Can't get anything better than this. Just a slight northerly, which is alright. Had a couple days of rain. Had about maybe up to 7-8 mil in the last couple of days, but the water clarity's holding up. So I've just launched down over here, down at the boat ramp. Brought a couple of small rods out with me as well. There, maybe some whiting or flathead. I'll just show you quickly what I'm running. This is probably my main. This is probably without a doubt my best rod and reel. This is the Stratic 2,500, paired with some, I think it's 10 pound or 8 pound braid, and whatever that rod is. Righto guys, the squid jig I'm going to be starting off with, just this Black Magic black 3 gram jig to start off with. Like you can see, the water's pretty clear. I'm going to be casting this way with the tide. Got some birds jumping over there actually. We'll try and get our bag pretty quick and see how we go. So what I like to do when I'm squid fishing these weed beds or whatever, I usually like to know how deep we are on the sounder. Picture, just all you can do is just drop your jig down to the bottom. See how far it takes. You don't want your squid jig to be right on the bottom because you don't want to, you know, pick up any weed and whatnot. So you want to, I like to keep it about half a meter off the bottom-ish, so you can do that by just dropping your squid jig down. Watching it go down to about, you know, in that range of half a meter to a meter-ish off the bottom. Once you know how many seconds you've done, you can pretty much start jigging. So what I like to do is, I know it's about 3.3 meters here, so I'll just count to 8 roughly in my head, because I know that just by experience of how long I need it to sit until it's down half a meter to the bottom. Then just simply get that line tight. I usually like to do 3 jigs straight up. That'll just make the jig go like that in the water. Let it sit for another 3 seconds. Give it another 3 up. You can also do like you can do like slide things which will like dart the jig in the water to the side. But for now I'm just going to do the basics and just lift up. It always works for me. Alright guys, we've just hooked on to the first squid of the morning. Second cast in with the Black Magic squid jig. It's not a huge squid, so we'll just lift him in. Oh, trying to get me. He's not letting go of that squid jig, I'll tell you that. He has absolutely wrapped that. So there's the first squid of the morning. Pretty medium-ish size-ish squid. He's actually let go of that jig now. Just do that. Best way, if you don't know, you've probably seen heaps of videos on this. TikTok, YouTube, Instagram. Karate chop, back of the head. He's done. Chuck him straight in there. I didn't actually buy any ice. I just realised that. So the bag limit in Victorian waters, not sure about anywhere else, is 10 squid per person. So we've already got 1. The water clarity is pretty good, it's holding up, which we should get our bag pretty quick. There's actually not a whole heap of videos and people going right into depth of what coloured jigs to use on different type of days. Preferably clear water. I'd probably say this is relatively clear. I wouldn't say it's ultra clear. clear water, sunny days, I like to go with a bright jig. You can look up like contrasts of different colors in different type of clarities of water and whatever. But the bright colors just stand out. You got the sun reflecting. You got to imagine like the sun reflecting onto the water, onto the jig, and it's given like that shine kind of effect. On the murkier days, I've actually done really well with this black jig. That's why it's one of my favorite at the moment. Over the last summer, I've been fishing down at pretty much everywhere for squid. I've fished here a couple times, not a whole heap. Down towards St. Leonard's and Queenscliff, I've done really well just by using this. And you know, on them summer days, you don't really get too much of a cloudy day. So it's all about preference, whatever. During your winters, I've absolutely cleaned up on this within half an hour out here, like relatively around the same area. Alrighty guys, we've hooked up to our, oh my god, I was going to say second squid of the day. What are the odds of that? A puffer fish. Are you serious? Oh, you stupid thing. How do you catch that on a squid jig? Oh yeah, I've caught one squid. I only got here like 20 minutes ago.
It's a calabar.
Hey?
It's a calabar.
Is it?
Hey, no, it is. It's fucking calabar.
I'm just trying to find some ground, guys, because as you can see, this rain over the last couple of days, that water clarity is really bad. I can barely picture the bottom there, and we're probably only in like 4 meters. So yeah, 4 meters. So it looks like our sweet spot's around like that 3.5 and under. Righto, we just put up to the next spot in about 3.5 meters. I can picture the bottom here a bit better. Righto guys, we've just hooked up to the second squid of the morning. Feels a little bit decent-ish. So as you can see, he's just in the water just there. So we're just going to lift him in. There's that, there's the second squid of the morning. It's been a bit slow. We've had to find, we've had to really find the sweet spot of the depth, as it's pretty murky after this probably 7-inch mil of rain like I was saying before. Give him a karate chop to the head. Their spawning season, I believe, is in about springtime. I've caught mainly my larger models around this time of the year, maybe a little bit later. But when they're starting to spawn and mating and whatever, it's just be, once you catch one and you're out with a mate or whatever, just always get that second rod in the water, because there's usually and sometimes a second one following it, like they travel in pairs. I don't know if you guys can see that, but there's actually one just following my jig. Just come up to it, it's just down there. Oh, nearly had it. It's actually got a bit of weight on it. He's still down there. So I'll just get that weight off it. I'll just drop it down here again. So when squid fishing, guys, best ground is when it's really weedy. Really thick weed is your best for squid fishing. Right now we're in a bit of patchy stuff. It's not really too thick, but it's still pretty weedy. Just a couple jigs like that. Let it sit for 3 seconds. Do it again. Alright, I'm not sure if you guys can see that. There's actually one on it right now. Yeah. There we go. It's always good to keep your jig right down there, like at the bottom of the boat, or if you're on a kayak, because you can actually see the squid come up to your jig and whatever. Usually the last couple of times I've actually got a squid chase it right up to the boat. Sometimes they might be a little bit finicky as the water clarity is just a little bit murky and there's a bit of surface weed that might not be as active. So there's the second squid of the morning. Pretty small model, but we'll try to get some bigger ones. Righto guys, we've just hooked up to the fourth squid. He actually doesn't know. I don't know if he thinks he's hooked. He does now. But we've just hooked up to another one. Oh, he does now. So he's probably the same size as that second one we've caught. He'll give us a good feed and a good bit of baits out for later today. And I'll net him. Always try to net from behind because squid will actually go backwards in the water. As you can tell, they go back, not forwards. So there's the fourth squid of the day. Nice little medium size again. We'll get this guy knocked out. The squid aren't in really hot numbers today. They've kind of been scattered at this rate, the ratio is probably about 1 to 10. I'll get one every 10 casts or something. But I'm sure that once we start finding the right jig, the right ground, the right area, we should be able to pick up some better numbers. A couple of boats just pulled up, whatever, it got a bit quiet. So we're currently going to head towards Port Arlington way, try some new ground. We've fished all back here and whatever, and we've only pulled in them 4 squid. So it seems like it's going to be a day, or we're just going to have to keep moving, finding new ground. Maybe going up there, you know, it's going to be a little bit clearer water. Righto guys, we've hooked up to another one here. Feels like just a smaller one. So he's a smaller one, so we can use him for a bit of bait. So we're sitting about 4.3 meters here, and it's a little bit more clearer than it was towards Clifton Springs. Righto guys, just hooked up to the 6th squid of the morning. I've just anchored. What I've done is I've just anchored around this whole heap of weed beds. Just all around my boat, just weedy. So I've just anchored in this sand hole. The squid has grabbed it. I can cast all angles here. So there's the 6th squid of the morning. Another like pretty smallish sized squid. So guys, I just hooked another squid here. I didn't have the chest cam on, but I just caught it over here to the left side of the boat, and I would say he's a pretty decent one. Being probably one of the larger models of the day. Righto guys, we've just hooked up to number 8. It's only a little one. See if he's got a mate behind him. Another one, perfect bait size. So there's him. Righto guys, just hooked up to number 9, I think. Nearly got our bag. It's been very slow, but this feels like a solid one, which it is. And there's him. So as you can see, another good medium-sized squid. Caught a couple of these today. Righto, we've just hooked onto the bag. So that's number 10 for us. Feels like a pretty, it's a small medium, not bad. So there's that, we'll just lift him in. Oh. See that? Pretty small, medium-ish. Not bad.